Tick tock, tick tock. No, we aren't trying to plug everyone's favorite video app. We are trying to set the scene for today's video, which is all about a giant, slow ticking clock that is being built by none other than Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Just how slow are we talking? This clock will tick once per year, and its design looks straight out of your favorite steampunk-themed comic book or movie. It's already cost the billionaire a colossal $42 million so far, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be finished anytime soon. We've got the story right here. Stick around for a minute and learn something. So, what's the deal with this super slow clock? Known as the Clock of the Long Now, this monstrous timepiece was thought up by Danny Hillis, a computer scientist and entrepreneur who also happens to be a MIT professor, builder of autonomous dinosaur robots, and Disney-themed park rides. The idea first came to him in 1986 when he imagined what he described as a 10,000-year clock. It's Hillis's company, Applied Minds Inc., that leads the design of this thing. And guess who else is involved? None other than Mr. Jeff Bezos. He's a man worth $190.9 billion at the time of writing this video, and he just so happens to love the idea of this super clock. In fact, in an excited tweet from the Amazon founder, he stated, "Installation has begun, 500 feet tall, all mechanical, powered by day-night thermal cycles, synchronized at solar noon, a symbol for long-term thinking. The hashtag 10,000-year clock is coming together, thanks to the genius of Danny Hillis, Xander Rose, and the whole clock team." Which brings us to the clock itself. Sources say that it has been in production for at least half a dozen years, and to actually get to its location will be quite the journey of its own. It's being carved within a mountain in West Texas, right on Jeff Bezos' property. It's several hours from the nearest airport when traveling by car, but after you arrive, get ready for a little hike. There's a foot trail you will have to traverse that will take you 2,000 feet above the valley floor. This path has been lovingly described as rugged. We say, make sure you pick up a pair of new hiking boots. As you can imagine, when you are building a 500-foot clock in the center of a mountain that lacks easy access to an airport, things start to get a bit pricey. Case in point, it's been reported that the project has already garnered a $42 million price tag. And there's still a long ways to go. Who knows how much it will cost when it's all said and done. But we gotta say, we think this clock is gonna be worth it. Inside the mountain will be 5 room-sized anniversary chambers for the 1-year, 10-year, 100-year, 1,000-year, and 10,000-year anniversaries. The idea is that with each benchmark, a new special something will be featured. For instance, there's quite a spectacle planned for the 1st-year anniversary. A special array will be featured. You'll be able to see the planets and the Earth's moon. And get this, it includes the interplanetary probes launched during the 20th century. The anniversaries after this first one, though, they haven't been set up yet. But this is intentional. The idea here is that future generations will build their own, well, whatever they want for the rest of the chambers. In fact, for the 10-year anniversary, one that we will all hopefully get to see in our lifetime, the team is taking ideas via email. Hey, if you got an idea, what are you waiting for? Email Mr. Bezos. You might actually get your idea used on this project. Chime in as soon as you can. Get it? Now, you may be wondering, why? Just why? What is the point of a massive, slow-ticking clock that chimes on such incredibly distant intervals? Most of us won't even be alive for that 100-year anniversary, and we certainly won't be there for the 1,000 or 10,000-year anniversary. What gives? Why spend that $42 million? Well, as Jeff Bezos has put it, the clock is meant as a symbol, a way to remind people that not only does the future exist, but the far-off future exists. He wants a physical reminder that the world we leave behind will be picked up by our descendants, and it will be up to them to continue the legacy of the human race. Wow, maybe now you're starting to think that this clock is pretty darn cool. Well, guess what? You aren't alone. Singer Brian Eno who has a massive net worth of $60 million, has not only expressed his appreciation and support of the project, he was even the one to name the clock. Oh yes, the legendary songwriter apparently had been mulling over the concept of the small here, which to him meant living blindly to your surroundings, that where you live consists simply of the four walls of your room, and that's it. The opposite for him was what he called the long now. To quote Mr. Eno on his thought process, you rarely got the feeling that anyone had the time to think 2 years ahead, let alone 10 or 100. Everyone seemed to be passing through. It was undeniably lively, but the downside was that it seemed selfish, irresponsible, and randomly dangerous. I came to think of this as the short now, and this suggested the possibility of its opposite, the long now. In fact, the concept of the long now not only applied to the clock itself, but to the foundation that is handling the administrative side of the project. The Long Now Foundation started up in 1996 and is still handling the project to this day. So what else can we tell you about the clock before we go? Well, actual construction started up in 2018, and while progress has certainly been made, as evidenced by pictures that have popped up on a website containing an open note from none other than Jeff Bezos himself, it seems that there is still a ways to go before anyone is able to visit this testament to longevity of the human race. As of right now, there is no official finish date for the clock, which we gotta say, this seems a bit, well, strange. If you know up front that you want to build a clock that has anniversaries that are so spread out and are to be finished by future generations, wouldn't you know up front when you wanted to start this bad boy? We're a little confused here too, folks. But hey, Mr. Bezos created a $1.7 trillion company, so we're willing to give him and his team the benefit of the doubt that they know what they are doing. Now that you know about Jeff Bezos' timekeeping passion project, we'd like to leave you with another little passion project of his that is sure to pique your interest. It's known as Day One Fund, and its mission is one of the most philanthropic we've ever heard of. The goal of Day One Fund is simple: to dedicate $2 billion of funding for educational programs for the homeless. Bezos has already been working hard to achieve this monumental goal. In 2020, he announced that recipients of donations from Day One Fund have already received a total of $105.9 million. Not bad, Mr. Bezos. Not bad. Hey, before we go, since we talked about a clock that is 500 feet tall in a mountain today, have you ever wondered what the biggest timekeeper in the world is? Well, check out this massive 1,983-foot tower, sporting 4 timekeeping faces, each 151 feet in diameter, known as the Mecca clock. It's located in the Saudi Arabian city of Mecca and costs a colossal $15 billion to build. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's video, click that like button. It really helps us out here so much. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. You can join our 15 million subscriber family and be alerted the next time one of our videos goes up all about the wealthy and the well-off. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you next time right here on The Richest.